Welcome in Sports Center from the nation's capital. I'm Scott Van Pelt. Another NFL Sunday is in the books. You know the drill. Everything you want to see and hear from Week 5 on the way. We began the day with 2 undefeated teams, and in honor of Boomer, we finish with none. Those are the 72 Dolphins celebrating. Buffalo entered Sunday alone unbeaten after what happened in Philadelphia. In come the Patriots, Drake Maye, and also, how about the icy whites for Buffalo? Those look fantastic. It also means that Stefon Diggs is back in town. His first time since moving on via trade. A 6-3 game as we play in the early third. Josh Allen hits Dalton Kincaid. And then Curtis Samuel, great play design. He walks, or I should say high steps into the end zone. First touchdown of the game, and it's 10-6. Ensuing Patriot drive. May did this a lot. Kind of a Josh Allen hybrid, if you will. Roll the pocket, ad-lib, make a play, and an incredible throw and catch from Stefon Diggs, who had his most targets and yards in this one. Earlier in the game, Ramondre Stevenson, who's been plagued by fumbles, put one on the ground, but here, Vrabel trusted him. He takes it into the end zone, and New England has the lead. For a minute, Allen looking for Khalil Shakir, picked off by Marcus Jones. Early fourth, Patriots driving, looking for more. May, Diggs, breaks out of one tackle. When he picks up a block, he's got to be thinking, I'm going to get into the end zone. Not quite. You can tell he desperately wanted that. It's Stevenson again on a great play design. Roll everything to the right, pitch it to him on the left, and Stevenson with his second touchdown of the game. It's a 10-point deficit for Allen and the Bills. He finds Kincaid here, who had a big night, 6 catches, 108 yards. And Buffalo approaching the end zone, and they would find it. Keon Coleman in the back, and it's a 3-point game. Under 5 to go. Buffalo needs 3 to tie. Up top to Coleman, who makes a beautiful grab. Later in the drive, Allen doing what he does, improvising. He's a magician. Make a big man miss. Somebody open for a moment. It's Shakir, but it's broken up. Buffalo would kick the tying field goal at 20 apiece. Now Vrabel and New England had to thread the needle, and this is just an incredible play. Drake Maye under pressure, stiff arms the defensive tackle. I believe Chris Collinsworth says a 330-pound man, and then Diggs makes a great play, not just to make the catch, but then to gain some yards. 2nd and 9, what a throw and catch to Keyshawn Boutte down the sideline. They're getting close to field goal range, and field goal range for Andy Borregales from 52. I want you to see where this hits. It hits halfway up the net. That's good from 70 yards, and it's right down the middle for the rook. And there are only 15 seconds left. Buffalo, Samuel actually fielded it and tried to make a play out of the end zone. Here they're going to try to do a little pitchy woo-woo, but off the catch to Palmer. He's not able to get the pitch to Shakir, and that is a phenomenal win for New England, and you see the passion in Stefon Diggs. Tim Hasselbeck is with me, and we got a full 90 here, so we got some time here. We're upstairs preparing. You're getting your tapes ready on Josh Allen and all the stuff that only he can do. And then May is doing a remarkable sort of facsimile. How many things did he do in this game that are reminiscent of the great ad-lib quarterbacks in the game?
I mean, at least a handful in one game, against the guy that kind of is changing the position the way he has with how he does it. And so, look, I think when you go back to the beginning of the year, people have kind of all this optimism on New England, where they're going to be a team that really turns it around. Yeah, like Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but it is centered around Drake Maye becoming a quarterback like the ones that we talk about. So whether it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, guys like that. Like, that is the reason for the optimism. And so in a game tonight where you're, at the Bills in their place, they're undefeated, you go on the road, and then you make some of the plays that quite honestly, Josh Allen is the one that is usually making. Like I don't want to say it's a coming out party because like I think people know who Drake Maye is and all of that stuff, but I think that's a big performance against that quarterback in his building.
Well, Sunday Night Football, everyone's watching. It's Buffalo who hasn't lost. They're in your division. They're the bully on the block, and you go into their place and beat them. I mean, you can't really amplify a singular performance any larger than that. He was 13 of 14 in the second half. But I also want to ask you about Vrabel, because at the end of the first half, they got down there close. It was like on the 1 yard line, and we were wondering, do you try to sneak it, try to get 7, because you're going to need 7 to win. He didn't. But I could see him talking, I believe, to his coordinator, say, let's make sure we get points here. And then at the end of the game, you've got to thread the needle to try to exhaust the clock and then make a 52-yarder. And they did every single thing. So it's not just Maye who was brilliant. It's this entire team, isn't it?
It is. So I think May's the most important piece, because you can be a great coach. If you don't have the quarterback, you won't be any good. So they feel like they have the quarterback. But, Scott, I think you bring up an awesome point about Mike Vrabel. Around the league, he is considered a guy that situational football, he's got it perfect. He does it. He does an excellent job, maybe as good as anybody at it. So you reference the end of the half. At the end of the half, takes a timeout when he specifically wanted 18 seconds because he knew, look, if the quarterback runs around a little bit, it's not going to exhaust all the time. Maye actually did it twice. And then when you think about, you said, talking to your coordinator, make sure you have an opportunity to get that play. If it doesn't work, you're still kicking the field goal to go up 6-3 at that point. So, yeah, I think the situational football, how he coaches that is, I think in some ways you could argue second to none.
Stephon Diggs hurt his knee last year with Houston, coming back from an ACL, and it was a fairly slow start to this season. And there's plenty of folks that wonder, coming off an injury like that, like, you know how people are. Is he washed? Are his best days behind him? He had 100-plus receiving last week, had his best game tonight, which doesn't surprise me at all. But this feels like the kind of night that could be a launch point for the best of Stephon Diggs for Maye in New England, does it not?
It absolutely. Just targets alone. He had 12 targets tonight. The next closest guy to him was 4 targets. Like, he turned into the guy tonight that, like, when you had to have it, think of the plays we're talking about. Sure. The escape plays, the 2 of them on the sideline.
Right here.
This is one that was remarkable. And then, you also have to understand the chemistry and trust reading the guy's body language on something like that.
Yeah, you're only 5 weeks in.
Right. And so I think, look, a veteran receiver who definitely has a great feel for the game, space and all of that, and then has the ability to finish catches, in contested situations. Yeah, absolutely. Because Hunter Henry had kind of been the guy for Maye.
Yep.
And tonight it felt different. It felt like, oh, wait a second. No, there's pretty good rapport with Stephon Diggs.
Well, and it was clear that it meant a great deal to him to be back there. There's a lot baked in, good and maybe not so good for his time there. But now you get a chance twice a year to play him. This is his first bite of the apple, and he took a big, huge bite and was great. On the Buffalo side of things, I think the most important thing that Vrabel did and what New England was able to do is make sure that when Allen touched the football at the end